Big Dick Booker.
BDB was out there once again playing for the Phoenix Suns, and in only 26 minutes played, Matthew, he ended up going 12 of 22 from the field, including 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, had 31 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and only 2 turnovers. How great was it to see Devin Booker back out there on the court? And I might note, before I hand it off to you, my friend, that he had the jersey on, and then he had like a cutoff black shirt underneath the jersey. It was one of the coolest looks I've ever seen a fucking player wear with the black headband. Like, not only is he a badass, but he I love you, Devin Booker.
Yeah, post-game interviews, him and Katie talk about how he has beef with everybody in this league, right?
Yeah.
Because he talks about his, someone asked, and I forget the name, I do apologize, asked a question about, playing against Towns, does that just get a little bit more of a fire in your belly? No, he just has beef with everybody. He's going to play like that. And dude, this game looks so different compared to anything we've seen all year. The spacing, you could probably throw it up to a little bit of Minnesota being a little tired from the back-to-back. Maybe this wasn't the real ant, I don't feel like, but the way Book came out and the spacing that he has in between him and his defender and what he can do to create, it's just insane. There was a one play in the third quarter where he came out, brought the ball down, first possession, it just looked like Nurk had a great shot at the three, but passed it up, gave it back to Book. Then he swings it back around, runs to the other side of the court, and he hits Gordon wide open for a three. Or a Kogi. It's just the way he just can change this game. It's MVP worthy. I think you talked about maybe even writing an article about that because it's totally true. Yeah. This team is just drastically different with Booker. The spacing, what he can do to help KD out, what he can do to get everybody involved. Our point guard situation to start with is solved. Backup point guard, no. We'll figure that out later, maybe. But just with Booker just changing the momentum of the game, making sure that we continue to push a lead up, he brings it every game. And I think that tonight's game, the amount of points he had in the limited minutes, it's just insane. Every look he had, even the missed ones, looked great. To have him on the court, you feel so comfortable with him bringing the ball up. And the best part, I think, is even in the fourth. When he starts the fourth quarter, he brings it up slowly, wants to waste some time. And sometimes you're like, oh, come on. Like you're just watching the clock. Because we're all worried about the fourth quarter and how we just, we cannot give up this lead again, right? We can't falter again in the fourth. And you're like, you're wasting time. You're not getting good looks. No. Every time he had the ball bringing it up, he would get a good look or he would find a teammate. He would basically make sure that the clock was down to like maybe 5 or 6 seconds and they would still have a good shot. I don't know. It just seemed like a different Book, even better Booker than before. I don't know what it is. I just said what it was, but I'm just saying like he just went up another level already in just one game, I feel like.
Well, and I said it at the beginning of the season after watching him in the preseason and then obviously his first game that Devin Booker has leveled up. And the confidence that you have in watching him play the sport of basketball is at an all-time high. And I can't tell you how many times you and I are sitting there in media row watching him play, and he'll just put together a great play, and I'll just kind of give you a look out of my side eye. I'm like, this motherfucker, like he is so good at basketball. I love what John Does 69 says in the chat. Great name, by the way. John Does 69 says that cut sleeve shirt definitely had like a motorbike or a wolf graphic on it.
I didn't even notice it.
Oh man, go back and look at the pictures, man. Yeah, he's on a different level, but you're 100% right. So many people, there's been a lot of conversation, obviously, with the recent woes of the Phoenix Suns, especially in the fourth quarter, about, well, if you bring Booker back, does he solve the issues that you have? The inefficiencies, the lack of offensive continuity, the lack of ability, or the pure isolation basketball. And on the defense and the turnovers and on the defensive end. And we saw a lot of that tonight when Devin Booker started this game right off the bat. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have a quote unquote traditional point guard, but what Devin Booker brings is a calmness, a basketball intellect, and a comfortability with this offense to run it effectively. And it was funny in the post-game conference. Both Devin Booker and Kevin Durant came out and fielded questions from the media together. And, Kevin Durant kind of jokingly was like, hey, we got our point guard back. then asked a little bit later, like Booker, they're like, well, what do you think about being called the point guard? And he was sitting there, just kind of like, I'm not the point guard. He's like, I just, I'm a conduit in between players. I'm from one guy to another. I'm just passing it off to another player. But you saw it with his aggressiveness. You saw it with his wit, if you will, on the court, and his ability to just get to his spots. And like you said, elevate over players and score literally at will. He's just, you mentioned it a little bit, but MVP style. I will be putting together a piece that you can read on brightsideofthesun.com tomorrow. So if you don't read, stop by the site. There's a lot of great content that both myself and Matthew and our other writing team put together about your Phoenix Suns, the team that you clearly care about if you're listening to this shit. But his absence for 7 games, coupled with his production in the 3 games he's played, has him on an MVP level type conversation. Obviously, very, very small sample size of 3 games, but averaging over 30 points, getting at least 5 assists in every game. And seeing how the team performs when he's not present, that can sometimes speak volumes. And what he's doing right now at the level he's doing it is MVP level, man.